All right, chat. Feather Redeemed. Really sweet build-around card. And one of the many things that, like, for a long time was playable in Historic, but was inevitably pushed out of that format in terms of being competitive because the power level of Historic went through the roof with Modern Masters cards. But Explorer is a much lower power level than that. I think there's a good chance that Feather Redeemed is quite powerful in this format. Specifically, Feather seems like it has good matchups into the Greasefang and Winota decks because of access to repeatable removal like Reckless Rage and Dromoka's Command. Reckless Rage especially, which we have 4 copies of in our 75, lets you kill a Winota for just 1 mana. Out of the latest set, this deck archetype also got a brand new card here in Illuminator Virtuoso, so connives whenever we target this with one of our own spells, and this deck loves to target its own things with its own spells. Ancestral Anger is another somewhat newer card, gives extra attack, trample, and draws a card, so this is very good with Virtuoso having double strike, and eventually your 10th District Legionnaires also get quite large, so trample is good there as well. So let's go ahead and flip on into some Explorer match with this and see how it goes. I think Elspeth might be worth testing in the sideboard, but I'm going to start with Showdown of the Skalds. I think Showdown likely fills that way better. Fills that kind of card advantage slot better. Yes, we are starting with 23 lands. No second white here is a little awkward. That's a good draw. I think God's Willing is largely outclassed by Fight as one. There's obviously going to be niche cases where God's Willing is better with the evasion that you pointed out there, but this archetype doesn't usually have a problem getting through stalled boards because of its recurring fight spells. Speaking of, so, I am intentionally playing Reckless Rage out here before I play Feather, because Feather plus Dreadhorde Arcanist flashing back a spell interacts the way we want it to. Which is to say, when Arcanist flashes this back, it's going to end up back in our hand at end of turn. It's nice when we get to do the thing in the first game, chat. Thanks for cooperating, deck. Appreciate you. Good alternative to Showdown. Not that basically everything in that Showdown slot is going to be a mythic. You want some kind of card advantage. So like someone else mentioned the new 5-mana Elspeth. I think that's a fine card to play there, but you basically want some kind of Planeswalker in that slot. If you have the old 4-mana Ajani that could return a 2-drop from your graveyard to play, I think that's another reasonable card that you could play there. But again, those are all mythics. Yeah, 5 mana Elspeth seems like it has potential. Yeah, that's a good shout. If you have Chandra Torch of Defiance, you can play Chandra Torch of Defiance in that slot. Agree with that. Oh my gosh! Virtuoso lets us rummage things into the bin to then flash back while we have Feather in play. Well, that's quite silly. Okay, so I'm going to Reckless Rage, kill this Egon, or hit this Egon for damage. Then you'll note I've put a stop on my end step. All of these cards come back to my hand during my end step while damage is still marked on Egon. So we'll finish off Egon before the damage is removed from it. Honestly, I think I want another white land. Hey, the Oxor. Thanks for the 7 months. Yeah, my plans for people that haven't been hanging around are I basically plan to just go through all of the old decks that used to be playable in Historic, but have since been pushed out of the metagame by the addition of Modern Masters cards to the format, and just give them a go here and see if they seem playable in this new format. Skyclave Apparition seems good here. I think I'm gonna trim Soul-Scar Mage if we can bring in these extra Reckless Rages. Kiki, I can see, I mean, Kiki is just a good card. You can see that being okay. I just like, you have to like cut one of these other threats, right? You have to like not play 10th District, and 10th District is great. Yeah, Bolas's Citadel Explorer deck is probably a fun one to poke at some point too. What are we trimming? Couple of Angers, maybe. Maybe it's 10th Districts. They're only okay, and I'm bringing in other threats, right? This is still 18 creatures. I think you want like 18 creatures post-board all the time. I think mutate decks can be playable in this format. Probably not Review. Not dedicated mutate. I think the mutate combo deck, the mutate turns deck, is probably reasonable. I plan to do that at some point. Yeah, I wanna try Sultai Flash and Teamer Flash for sure. Sawtooth Demolisher is not legal in this format, no. That would be the one card that could potentially make Mutate playable, and it's not, doesn't exist here. That is a commander card. I was introduced to this platform via a historic anthology. The deck that wasn't even ever standard playable is bad. Yeah, I know. Surprise, Pikachu. Arcanist into 10th District 1 mana spell is such a strong start. Yeah, and then there's cards like Kenrith, and it gets even more muddled because there's cards like Kenrith and Korvold that were like commander products but are technically legal in this format for some reason. It's like Reckless Rage. Some things die while others feel the pain. Reckless Rage. Do 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 beep beep beep. The Brawl decks were standard legal. Sure, chat. I'm sure there's some consistency you could find there. It doesn't make it any less confusing or obnoxious being on this side. Fortunately, do not have a third white source here. They have their flashy dragon here. Enter stamped. Yep. We definitely policed a little bit of fun there, Chip. Definitely a little bit of fun policing in that that match of Magic the Gathering. Good first outing for sure. Let's get linear. I want to get linear. Let's get into linear. Nah, it's not Cenotaph. Now, I mean, there's definitely, like, more established archetypes and less established. Like, we don't know, like, what a competitive metagame looks like, but the opponent's deck definitely constitutes a brew. It just still never fails to crack me up when I see people bitching about Winota and Tybalt's trickery in this format. It's like, tell me you refuse to play best of 3 without telling me you refuse to play best of 3. Actually, everyone I've heard complain about this format and the decks in it have been playing best of 1. I am not going for the Ancestral Anger here because I want to hold up a protection spell against their blue-red deck. Oh, papi! That's the good stuff right there, chat. I like the way you do that right there. Oh, you know what? Should I have... Yeah, I'm supposed to have played this out so we could loot some of these lands. Got him. He's dead, Jim. Bye, friends. I consider myself one of the premier trickery pilots of Explorer Best of One, and I've got a 45% win rate to prove it. All right. We've got Showdown of the Skalds in, some Tamiyo Safekeepings in, maybe a Valorous Stance. Reckless Rage is coming out. Probably trim some Anger. Maybe a couple of Dromcoms. Dromcom does counter burn spells, which is nice. Maybe Stance just isn't good. Hey, what's going on, Ryan? Thanks for the 2 years. Yeah, I think this stream's probably gonna sell some. Probably gonna sell some feather decks. So they showed us Censor game 1, and they showed us a plethora of removal spells. So I'm gonna go ahead and wait till 3 to play the Legionnaire, so I can both play around Censor and hold up Safekeeping. That being said, running mono lands here off the top probably means we're in trouble either way. Spell at least. I've been here long enough that I crafted this a while back. Yeah, that's what I believe. Is this deck the new Grixis? No, not at all. This archetype's actually good when it's good. It's like, this archetype's super proactive. Grixis decks just like turtle around and don't do anything usually. Yeah, outside of the mana base, which LOL magic mana base is, the actual spells in the deck are pretty rare, wildcard friendly. You've got like Dromoka's Command, Arcanist, and Feather itself. You will lose a good amount of percentage points trying to play budget mana bases. All right, Chin, I believe in our 10th District Legionnaire. It's gonna win the game. It's gotta. It's all we've got. It's okay. We're gonna need to be on the play for game 3. It's a little chilly in my basement, shit, and my space heater is tucked behind the curtain. So gotta put a sweater on. Is it a Unite sweater? No, it is a Discord partner sweater. The Hoglandia server is partnered, shit. It's a big one. I'm gonna go ahead and just go to game. Go to game 3. What are spells? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. Whoa, whoa, whoa. No, this one's a pullover. I usually prefer zip hoodies, but I also don't complain about free merchandise. Our hand's not that good. It's like hand sucks keep territory. But like, I only have one threat and I don't have a protection spell. The shock kinda ends the game. This is the we talked about the wrong half problem when we were deck building. This is what that refers to. It's actually kind of scary. I discarded like 2 really good spells. Hopefully 10th District Legionnaire doesn't have any nasty tweets from when they were a teenager. Would really suck if they got canceled here. Just a little windy. We take those. I'm gonna hold on to this Defiant Strike as a surprise extra 1/1 on here. I could push 2 damage with it here, but I want to try and use it to save my Dorko from like a deal 4 here. Unfortunately, the Blitzkrieg Bop is going to get us here. Or just Showdown of the Skalds when you need it, chat. Sand ass nicely. No, you don't need to play bad things like reanimate spells, chat. Just put more threats in your deck. We have cards in our sideboard that allow us to grind. We have Showdown of the Skalds. Play a 4th copy of Skalds before you play anything else out. I think the only other one that seems maybe worth testing over Showdown is 5 mana Elspeth. Sounds like it could potentially be reasonable, but Showdown's like really good, chat. This card is super powerful. Especially when your Showdown draws you another Showdown, right? Like, they have Aether Gust here. It's about to get a little windy. think I want to leave green-white up here. Nah, I'm going to leave red-white up. Hopefully we just draw land. So I do this now while they're tapped out. We get the extra counter. Our thing's still indestructible till end of turn. Let's go on, Burgle. Yeah, Skalds is great. Card's super strong. I don't know what Swallow Hole is. It's bad. Yeah, it looks bad. I think that's worse than all the various, like, hexproof things we can be playing. Okay, and now every spell we cast puts 2/1/1 counters on my 10th District Legionnaire. So this is +3. This is +3. This is +2. Could I go for lethal here? Is it too greedy to go for lethal here? Oh yeah, there's extra from the trigger too. Yeah, so I can actually try and kill them while still holding safekeeping up. Yeah, they're actually potentially dead to just this plus this on this, and then I have safekeeping to protect. It's not even greedy because I can hold the safekeeping up yet. Oh yeah, there's extra threat on top of my deck too. The slightly greedy part about this, I suppose, is I'm not playing Arcanist from Exile. I think that's fine. This is +4. Yeah, and these two spells are coming back to my hand at end of turn thanks to Feather as well. Yeah, the fact that I get to hold up safekeeping for this shove is really good. And it has trample. So they're dead through blockers. Gandalf. Trash can, Gandalf. Good to introduce you two to each other. Solid set. Thanks everybody for hanging out this afternoon, by the way. Great to see over 900 people in here for some Magic the Gathering. Got a few new follows. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Jeff Hoagland. I stream full-time here on Twitch. I do Magic the Gathering, Pokemon Unite, and then a smattering of other variety games as well. We play mostly constructed here for the Magic portions, all on Magic Arena. Explorer's definitely been my favorite format of the late, but we also sprinkle in some standard, some historic, and some alchemy on occasion as well. Playing this format, I don't play paper Magic much anymore, and I've been off of Magic Online for a while, so I hadn't really experienced Pioneer. And playing this format being something Pioneer adjacent, I definitely see why people are enjoying that format a lot. A lot of good things going on here. It's very refreshing to get to experience a non-rotating format again that hasn't been muddied by Modern Horizons. Let's lead Virtuoso here against the control deck. Hey, look, chat. It's the reason I put a basic planes in my deck. Play 1 to 2 basics in your Explorer decks, chat. Don't get punished by Field of Ruin. Have a March here. Unfortunately, Fight as 1 does not stop that one. Doesn't stop that one either. Rip. Advice doesn't apply to control players. Control players, please don't play basics. You know, I wonder if I'm supposed to just cantrip the Ancestral Anger there. And just leave this exposed. As much white mana up as possible here, I think. Yes, 5 mana Teferi is legal in this format. Hey, we got some value off of Fight as 1 at least. Yeah, 5 mana Teferi's never been on a ban list. He's hated in our hearts, chat, but he's not, got me. Oh, I should have played an untapped land because now they can censor my Fight as 1 alongside their Depopulate.
I know my responsibility. Keep up the pace.
Are you about to bounce this with a channel land? Unfortunately, that's probably gonna do it. 9 lands in 16 cards, a little much without any selection or additional card draw. If this, not only did we have 9 lands in 16 cards, but one of the few spells that we drew is basically a blank here. No, they're to set an incredibly low bar. Control decks like what we're currently playing against are less popular in Explorer than they are in every other format on Arena. That being said, chat, Magic the Gathering players tend to be a certain type of human being that gravitates towards these types of decks. So, Even when I actually think these decks are at their worst in this format compared to every other, but they're still pretty popular because of who Magic players are. Our Showdowns, cut our Reckless Rages into Soul-Scar, I think. Oh, did I not bring in the Safekeepings? Did I just click through and not bring in Safekeepings? Nah, I really don't want Skyclave Apparition here. I think I just clicked through and didn't bring in Safekeeping. Obviously, we want Safekeeping here. Yeah, Angelfire is for non-combo creature decks. So anything that's trying to play a fair game of Magic with attacking and blocking. Yeah, your deck's also playing less threats though, Wargy, if I recall looking at the deck list correctly. There could be merit in just angering this turn. I'm gonna get like Portable Hold and be sad that I held up Fight as one. Only you would use your powers of prediction for good. Listen, chat, I've been beaten down against Gandalf too many times. So, I know what's coming. Not worth shocking for the clue. Yeah, you're probably right. It's probably worth shocking for the clue. That's a good shout. I think having an extra card would have really been good there, right? Because I would have been able to keep the land, the feather, and the fight as one. Would have looted this away and played feather out here. Who's got two thumbs and is ready to get Settle the Wreckage? This guy right here. I'm supposed to play Feather out here. I don't know if I'm actually supposed to play Feather out here is the thing, because we could be getting Farewell next turn. Can I kill them? They might be dead, right? So this is +4. So this is +4. And it pulls a blocker out of the way too. Yeah, they're dead. Okay. Good shit. This card's really good. Even if they blocked with the other one, they were still dead. Even if they blocked with the other one, they were still dead. That's pretty sweet. All right, we need the Safekeepings in our deck here, obviously. What am I supposed to be trimming here? All of our cards seem kind of good. Is it crazy to cut the Soul-Scar Mages? I think having a density of things that can trip is pretty important, Burgle. They have some destroy effects. Yeah, I just don't think Wild Shape's better than any of the cards we're playing, Wargate. Like, obviously there's good spots for all of these things. Like, God's Willing is good with it for the same reason too, right? Let the greed consume us. The classic cut a land on the draw. Yeah, I think Slip's probably not very good, this archetype. You really don't want to phase your thing out when you're protecting it. Yeah, you want your thing to smack them after you counter the removal spell. I think I need to do this to not only protect my threat, but I want to scry towards the land.
I've learned much during my travels. Let me show you. I am almost sad to see you go. I have got new moves to teach you.
So I showed them a different spell this time through because I wanted to leave up green-white. So this way, if I top deck Tamiyo Safekeeping, I'd have that available to me as a protection spell. Those are Moo Yangling sleeves. A fun animation too. Really like a 10th District Legionnaire. Huh? So I should wait on Virtuoso until I can protect it next turn, right? This will let us, put counters on it with Showdown and Skalds as well. The opponent does have a minimum of 3 spells in their hand here, we know, because they've been missing land drops. Taking it slow also lets me play 2 lands off of Showdown, which is nice.
Show them how we greet our enemies.
Okay. Your move, Yugi boy. Maybe they don't have it this time, says increasingly nervous man for the 3rd time this game.
We must protect the people. I am pushing my chips into the center of the table, chat. They need a march! They need a march! They need a march! Alright, so this is 22, 24, and they're at 20, they're dead, right? They're just dead to this, like I click next and they die, right?
Is it 22, 24, and they're at 23? Okay. Got him. Got him. Make them have it. Make them have it. Listen, chat. Control's a whole different ball game when they don't have Divine Purge and Unholy Heat and Archmage's Charm. Please, please stop. Please stop. Control minus their 12 best cards is bad. Something like that. I'm gonna wait a turn. They could have like a Shock or a Bone Crusher Giant. I've only got one threat and I've got a protection spell. Yeah, we got, that was the deck we played before this, Nighthawk. Evelyn's really good. We were just playing red-black, but yeah, big cosign that Evelyn's fantastic. Alright, so we're currently playing against Winota. We could just die next turn. Yeah, they're currently Winota without green mana. Is that accurate? I'm not dead yet! I'm not dead yet! I wonder if I blew these too soon. This is definitely a matchup where saving them to make Virtuoso scarier would have been rewarded. This is a really aggro attack, even with, Maybe I'm supposed to fight as one on defense here. Are too many of our creatures humans? No, I don't think so. We want another trample spell here, right? So put a 1/1 counter here, you fight you. Then I get a scry followed by a loot. Huh. Are they dead? This takes another blocker out? Well, I can't fight as well, but I can kill another blocker, and then my Virtuoso is going to be a 6, and my 10th District is a 6, and they're at 7, and my Soul-Scar Mage is also attacking, but they're only going to have one blocker here, chat. Yeah, they should be dead. We run back the same line now. We go 1/1 counter, target creature you control fights. Yeah, chat, they're at 7, and this is attacking for 10, and this is attacking for 7, and this is attacking for 3. So they have one blocker, and I have 2 individually lethal threats. This is double strike. Even without double strike, this is lethal. Yeah, we had two 7+ attackers. Come on now, chat. We're in the zone. And all the maths, quick maths figured out. So Reckless Rage and Redcaps for sure. Maybe Valorous Stance. Yeah, this card is absurd. This card is a very big power level increase over what this deck was doing prior. This deck always felt like it wanted a second 10th District Legionnaire, and this is a second 10th District Legionnaire that's better in many spots. We also got a second 1-mana cantrip, is big game as well, it feels like. Alright, I'm gonna cut Soul-Scar Mage. They don't really kill our threats in this matchup. I think this is my worst one. And then honestly, probably Dromoka, right? I think is what we cut. I think I want the rest of these. I'm gonna cantrip my Defiant Strike on 1, so I'm more likely to hit my 3rd land on curve. Cantripping my Defiant Strike on 1 also means that if I play Dreadhorde Arcanist this turn, I can play 10th District and flash this back, assuming I'm missing the land drop still. This deck doesn't want Swift Spear. Swift Spear is a different deck. I'm not even sure this deck wants Soul-Scar Mage, if I'm being honest with you. Favorite Hoplite is a card this deck would like. Yeah, that card's gas in this archetype. For sure. I think I'm throwing away my Dreadhorde Arcanist to cantrip here. This is where the magic happens, chat. Right here on your TV screen. Come on. God bless America. At least my 2/2 first striker holds down the board here, right? They get to attack with their 4/4, but that's it. The rest of their friends have to stay at home. He says before they windmill slam Winota. They just didn't attack there. Well, that's sick for us. Okay, so now, are we gonna win this game? We're ahead right now, right? Wait, did I miss lethal? There's a chance I missed lethal there. I didn't count it yet. I didn't realize I needed to be counting if I had lethal, but there's a chance I missed it. What? Oh, man. Okay, so, math. I feel like there's an incredible chance they just die here, right? I'm pretty confident we have lethal here. I'm gonna attack and we'll see how they block, but I'm pretty sure they could block with everything and eat their foods and still die this turn. Yeah, if it's not lethal, it cleans their board. I don't know, chat. Twitter told me Winota needs to be banned. Twitter seems very upset that Winota is legal in this format. Yeah, Winota is exactly like Tybalt's Trickery in that everybody complaining about it is basically playing best of one. And it's really not. It's really not a big deal if you're playing Magic, you know? Like we play Magic on this stream. And I don't know, maybe I've kind of been a proponent in the past. I've talked about maybe they need to rip the Band-Aid off and we just need different ban lists for best of one and best of three. They're different formats. And they should probably just be treated as such. All right, chat. Can my opponent block warriors? They cannot. Our opponent is a coward. No, they banned trickery outright in Historic, right? Is what happened. Am I remembering that correctly, or is that revisionist history? Also, and just for people that are new, I'd like the record to reflect, there's nothing wrong with enjoying Magic as a best of one game. Games are fun, and games are supposed to be played for fun, and you should play them in a way that lets you enjoy them the most. That being said, if you're someone who's upset you're playing against Winota and Trickery, you should stop playing best of one because you're choosing to play against those decks. They're popular in that format because they're good there. They're not really good in these other formats. They're not good in best of three when you actually have interaction in sideboards. And honestly, and again, we talk about this all the time too. It's not even just that decks like Winota and Trickery are worse post-board. They're worse when your opponents can sideboard. But they're also significantly worse when your opponents know what you're playing and they get to make intelligent mulliganing decisions. If I know I'm playing against Winota, I know I can't keep a hand that can't interact. And I get to mulligan in a way that makes sense. Best of one means you play one game. Best of three is like what we're doing here on stream all the time, playing with the sideboard. Decks that are linear and trying to race you are much better in best of one compared to best of three. I don't know what this opponent's doing. Like, they played Smoldering Egg and Redlands. They could be something controlling that makes me want Showdown. They could be a red aggro deck with, like, Steamkin that makes me want more creatures. And I'm going to sideboard like this with Safekeeping and some extra Reckless Rages in, but there's a good chance we go back to the drawing board for game 3 here. Yeah, Nexus of Fate was banned in best of one, but not best of three. I don't think it's fair to say it's not a real format. Anything people want to play and enjoy playing is a real format. Awesome, Saucinator. Thanks for 11 months. Welcome back. I'll just stand by my position of, if you're someone that's upset with things that only happen in best of one, you're upset with yourself for choosing to play best of one. Go play something else. If you're mad about this thing that happens in the format you choose to play, you have only yourself to blame. That's like me, chat. I don't complain about best of one because I don't like it. I just don't play it. It's okay. You're allowed to just not play the formats you don't like. It's perfectly fine to have formats you prefer playing over others. I think I'm just running Virtuoso into a Doomblade here, and I think I'd rather have 10th District survive. Would I? Is that even true? Yeah, 10th District works better with Reckless Rage, right? I don't know, it's close here. Yes, this also has haste for next turn as dice. I didn't Anger because I want to hold up Dromoka's command here. This can prevent damage an instant or sorcery is going to deal. So we can counter one of their red removal spells here. So we'll say, prevent the damage, give this a counter. Obviously, if they have another removal spell, we get got here, but, you know, we played around things the best we could. Negate also does it. We get to scry at least. Perfect, with love a Dreadhorde Arcanist. It would be funny. Could you imagine, like, what the talk about, like, in Modern and Legacy would be? If, like, what cards would be banned in Modern and Legacy if Modern and Legacy were accepted as best of one formats? What are things that just, like, are perfectly fine best of three, but just, like, would be gone if they had to balance it for best of one? All of them? Yeah, probably all of them. Probably all of them. No, none of them are okay. Yeah, Dredge is definitely gone. Storm, Belcher, Dredge. Yeah, it's supposed to Ancestral Anger there and try and draw a card. Yeah, Crimhorn, but, like, before best of three was accepted as an official format, the unofficial best of one that everybody played was balanced by you smacking your friend upside the head and saying, stop it, we don't want that here, go away. It was balanced through social contract, right? Natterjack, thanks for the 46 months, welcome back. All right, I believe we have died. It looks like they're more mid-rangey than controlling. Yeah, you played everything with rule 0, right, basically? You were playing games for fun. Baby, it's been so long since you got to be on the stream. Come show chat how big you are. Can you say hi? Hi. Hi. Who's that? Let's put the big baby up on the screen. You're not a baby, you're a giant toddler. Who's that? Is that Haley and Dad? Yes, so she doesn't want to look at herself, chat. She wants to play with the keyboard.
No, she just said I want to see. She just wanted to sit.
Oh, you wanted to sit? Oh,
she
Haley.
was trying to sit on her lap. Perfect.
You're a little bit too low to see.
I want to sit, is what she's saying.
We really need to
right in the center.
We really need to update your picture, baby girl. That picture is from when you're a baby. Oh, you want the mouse? She wants to drive, chat. You're a cutie. You cannot have the mouse. She really wants the mouse, yeah. All right, Mom. Your turn. Sorry, Daddy's a Magic player. He's not very good at sharing. Whoa, 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 whoa. Don't hit the space bar. Are we dead? I think we're dead, right?
Come on, Haley. Let's leave Daddy alone.
Love you, baby girl.
She wants you.
She wants the computer.
My dada, she said. My dada. My dada. I don't got her. I don't have her.
It's also past nap time.
My daddy.
Yeah, I think we're dead. Haley exhibiting for everybody at home her own iteration of Reckless Rage as she tries to flip out of Christie's arms. Redcap Melee is probably good here. They've got Drakes and Smoldering Eggs. Valorous Stance is good. Probably Anger's out. They don't have too many blockers. I mentioned earlier, Christy picked her up early from daycare because her and the kids are going to Chicago this weekend. So Christy wants her to not sleep until they start the 2-hour car ride. So we're keeping her up and cranky for a little bit. Let's do this. How old are kids before they understand gravity? At least 5 or 6. At least 5 or 6. 72. Depends, chat. For some people, gravity is simply a liberal conspiracy. You let big gravity keep you down, chat? How old does a kid need to be to play enough lands in their 60-card deck? Alright, who's the oldest person in chat? Older than that. To figure out how many lands you're supposed to be playing. Did they show me anything that kills Feather last game? They didn't, right? I think I still want to wait with the Safekeeping. Let's drop the Virtuoso, and then we'll play Feather with Safekeeping up. Magic players hate playing enough lands. Hey, Metafy. Thanks for the sub-gifts. Metafy's great, chat. They've sponsored a bunch of our Hoaglandia Opens in the past. You want to get better at Magic the Gathering, Pokemon Unite, or a smattering of lots of other different games like Smash, they're the best resource for that. A lot of good people over there. In a pretty good spot here with the Safekeeping. Got extra threat in Arcanist here. Okay. Now the real question is, do we gamble on the showdowns to find a green land to potentially expose Feather? Really depends on what we draw. Reckless Rage. Some things die while others feel the pain. Reckless Rage. We actually have a Portillo's branch in Bloomington now. And yeah, I grew up in the Chicagoland area, chat. The Alsip, Oak Lawn, Blue Island area. Suburb boy. Bojack Horseman taught me anything, it's that Schaumburg is not Chicago. So, what constitutes Chicago is proportional to how far away from Chicago you are. So if you live in Chicago or in the suburbs are not Chicago. When you're in Bloomington, the Chicago and the suburbs, all 100% Chicago. When you're in Indiana or either of the coasts, chat, I currently live in Chicago. Yes, if you ask someone from like New Jersey or California, I could probably say I live in Chicago and they'd agree. They played out a creature into our Reckless Rage. It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it pays off for him here. They are just like, this deck is so good against creature decks when it gets set up, chat. I could have gained like, it doesn't matter, they're dead shit. Yeah, I should have played Tamiyo Safekeeping during their main phase 2 while they were kept out, so when I come back in a turn. It's fine. All the roads are leading to Rome. Explorer reminds me of Historic when Historic didn't suck. It's so refreshing to have a non-rotating Magic format that isn't just a giant pile of Modern Masters cards. This format has reminded me why I used to really like Magic's non-rotating formats. I really don't like the direction Magic has pushed in with all of these direct to format stuff for these older non-rotating things. They were literally dead this turn if we used Dromcom. Yeah, I'd believe that. We're talking about like 3 different things. It's fine. They're still dead. Trust me. See, look. Played optimally. 100% optimal Magic the Gathering gameplay. We had Supreme Verdicts Jr. I think this deck's pretty... Honestly... The blue-white decks getting Supreme Verdict probably makes this deck a little bit better against them as constructed because we're already playing Fight as One. We played against a blue-white deck earlier today that was playing like all Settle the Wreckages and Farewells, which is definitely harder for us than Supreme Verdict. This deck was great. Virtuoso is such a huge upgrade for this archetype. Like, this deck is better than the last time we tried to play it in Historic, and Explorer is a lower power level. Not only that, but the decks that tend to be strong in Historic are currently really leaning on creatures, and having access to repeatable and efficient removal like Reckless Rage is so good in this format. If you're looking for an aggressive creature deck to play, this one felt super reasonable. I think the Green Splash is super worth it. Dromoka's Commands, a super powerful card. Tamiyo's Safekeeping was good. Wargy Corgi talked about Wild Shape a lot. I could see that card being good. I just don't know anything that I really want to cut for it. Sure, the looting has a lot of value as well for sure. This card was sweet too. Like, this card getting jumped was always kind of annoying, and this card with your Double Striker is absurd, and having another 1-mana card that's repeatable that draws a card also added a lot of power to this archetype, which is great. Sweet. All right, chat. I'm off of Magic for today. Let's play some Pokemon tonight. We played 5.5 hours of Magic. Let's unite the Pokemon.